Well, in The Good Liar, we see Betty, Helen Mirren and Roy, Ian McKellen, filling in details on distinctive dating, an online forum. Both stretch the truth a little, and that's just a taste of what's to come. They meet, they get on, despite the fact that Betty's grandson Stephen, Russell Tovey, is suspicious of their rapidly accelerating intimacy, particularly when Roy inveigles himself into Betty's bland home in what seems to be an upmarket retirement village by pretending to have a crooked knee. We soon learn that Roy is a con artist, working with his mate Vincent, Jim Carter of Downton Abbey fame, as they concoct schemes to fleece investors of their money. The stakes mount as Vincent, acting as Roy's financial advisor, convinces Betty to put her considerable millions into a joint bank account. A trip to Berlin will begin revelations that ultimately stretch credibility a bit too far. Directed by Bill Condon of Gods and Monsters, Kinsey and Dreamgirls fame, which writer Jeffrey Hatcher adapted from a novel by Nicholas Searle. The pleasure of the film is seeing these two seasoned performers strutting their stuff, which they both do so well. It's the first time these two have appeared in a film together. And Russell Tovey and Jim Carter are solid also. But the sum of the film is a bit less than its parts. I don't know whether I was the only one to feel that this film telegraphs its developments in rather obvious ways. It's a bit like sitting down to a meal and when it's over you somehow feel undernourished. Graham, am I on and out of here?
Well, I didn't feel undernourished, really. I mean, I was quite sort of chock-a-block, sort of feeling full in some respects. I mean, it's a heist thriller on one level, but then it's also, it turns out to be a terrible tale of misogyny and murder in wartime Germany. I mean, there's a lot going on, and so much of it is so preposterous.
Yes.
And so kind of creakingly put together that you know, while you come out of it feeling quite sort of full, having viewed a lot of stuff, it also makes you think for hours afterwards about what actually went on. I mean, for a start, you question their ages. I mean, I think I worked out at one stage that he must actually, in terms of the way the film goes back, 105. That's right. And she must be close to at least 90. I know, and you spend a lot of the time sitting there going, I'll work backwards. We know it's 2009, and you're thinking this while you're trying to watch it at the same time, but it's then we're back in the war and he's a soldier, but maybe he's not a soldier, and you're working all that out. And then you're trying to go back, you're also going back about how did they meet? That's on the thing, but how did they actually, when you
find one another?
Retrospectively, you're thinking about that as well as you go. There's a lot of this going on.
Plot holes in this film.
Plot holes is exactly right. It is just preposterous.
But, I mean, she is so fine.
Isn't she a good actor?
She's just a pleasure to watch, I've got to say. And, I mean, he's getting, more and more grizzled with age.
He's grizzled. It got a little, after a couple of hours, it just got a little hard to keep looking at him. I mean, that clown-like face now with the huge nose and the massive ears.
I know.
He's like some medieval sort of gnome.
He was such a beautiful boy, wasn't he?
He was a beautiful boy. Yes, but that was...
Look, I'm going to give this 3.5 stars.
I'm going to give it 3. I just found it so preposterous as to make me feel anxious for days afterwards.
It's very peculiar. Doing things you'd never imagine. Secrets between you, God, the devil, and the dead. You're becoming a very good liar.